guys, it's Megan from Vigilante Vibes, and I am here with another character breakdown. And I was asked to make this video by a very lovely member, and I said I would, so here I am. So we're going to talk about Night Thrasher. Who is Night Thrasher? Well, it's a very underrated character in my opinion, and I feel like more people should be talking about him. So, Night Thrasher first appeared in Thor number 411 and was created by Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz. Dwayne Taylor, who is Night Thrasher, was the son of Daryl and Melody Taylor. His father served in a military unit during the Siang Kong War, where the team uncovered a hidden place known as the Temple of the Dragon's Breath. Inside the temple, a power sorceress named Tai demanded that the soldiers enter a pact. They were to sleep with her daughters and hand over any magically empowered children born from those unions, so she could use them for her own dark plans, which this whole thing is dark. So, Daryl refused outright. He already had a wife back home. So, we love a good man. His commanding officer, Andrew Cord, and the rest of the soldiers accepted the pact. We do not love those men. Ty never forgot Daryl's refusal. Years later, she took revenge by mentally controlling Andrew Cord and forcing him to off Daryl and Melody right in front of their son. Afterward, Ty personally altered Dwayne's mind, clouding his memories so he remembered his parents dying, but not who actually killed them. Ty and Andrew Cord then became Dwayne's guardians. They carefully shaped his anger and grief, encouraging him to channel it into becoming a living weapon against crime. While they quietly ran the day-to-day operations of Daryl's company, the Taylor Foundation, Dwayne focused on relentless training. As an uncostumed street vigilante known as Night Thrasher, he crossed paths with two other fighters, Midnight's Fire and Silhouette, who were also trying to shut down gang activity in their neighborhood. None of them knew at the time that Fire and Silhouette were actually long-lost children of the Pact, born to Andrew Cord and Ty's daughter, Miami. The three teamed up for several weeks, and during that time, Dwayne and Silhouette started a relationship, which feels weird. Things went wrong during a drug deal where Silhouette was posing as a mule. A street cop stumbled into a scene and drew his gun. Midnight's Fire pulled out a blade, and Dwayne thought he was about to kill the cop. As the two struggled, one of the drug runners drew his own weapon and shot Silhouette in the spine. Midnight's Fire completely lost it and blamed Dwayne for everything. He slashed Dwayne across the face and walked away, completely ending their friendship. Dwayne didn't even know if Silhouette was alive after. Shaken, he asked Cord to help him build a suit of armor capable of handling superhuman threats like Midnight's Fire. Thinking back to how effective he'd been working with Fire and Silhouette, Night Thrasher decided to form a team of his own. He brought together 6 teenage heroes and called them the New Warriors, young people who trying to figure out who they were and what they stood for. Dwayne, however, often clashed with the team because of his extreme, no-compromise approach to crime. He eventually crossed paths with Silhouette again and learned that she had survived the shooting, though she was permanently paralyzed from the waist down. When the team's morals got in the way of uncovering the truth about his past, Dwayne angrily disbanded the Warriors and went searching for answers on his own. But he didn't realize that Ty and Cord had encouraged him to form the team because they intended to use the Warriors as replacements for the 6 children of the Pact, the original kids that had to sleep with the daughters. And they were sacrifices for Well of All Things. That's something that kills me about Marvel, is the name of their entities. Well of All Things. The Oblivion. All that. At the same time, 4 of the 5 surviving offspring, Midnight's Fire, Smiling Tiger, Bloodstrike, and Silk Fever, all bang-up names, were gathered together by Diego Casas, also known as the Left Hand, another member of Daryl's old unit. Diego had altered Ty's plans by stealing her daughter's powers and formed the group into the Folding Circle. He even convinced Dwayne to join them, promising answers about his past. In truth, Diego planned to kill Ty and sacrifice the Warriors to take the power for himself. The plan failed, but the folding circle would later clash with Dwayne again. Dwayne, in particular, never forgave Midnight's Fire for betraying his own sister Silhouette. Later, Dwayne befriended Elvin Halliday, who's Rage, after Elvin was kicked off the Avengers for being way too young. Dwayne saw a lot of himself in the angry young man who just wanted to fix what was wrong. When Elvin's grandmother was killed by the Poison Memories gang, Dwayne became his legal guardian. Even after returning to the New Warriors, Dwayne walked away again when their ethics conflicted with his own. This time, the fallout was devastating. While Dwayne and Rage pursued their own mission, Namorita was abducted and kept under mind control for months. When the truth came out, the team voted Dwayne out. After being kicked off the Warriors, Dwayne brought together Psionics, former enemies of the team, and tried to turn them into heroes. While they genuinely wanted to help people, they were way too unstable and violent to work as a team. Eventually, Dwayne gave up on Psionics and rejoined the New Warriors, leaving Psionics' ultimate fate unknown. Dwayne later officially retired from being a hero, though he stayed semi-active while running the Taylor Foundation. He tried to make a difference through science and, rather than fists, throwing himself into cancer research. One of the scientists appeared to develop a cure, but it was later revealed that the real breakthrough came from the scientist's mutant son, who had subconsciously guided the cure using his own power. The revelation destroyed the Foundation's credibility. The scientist later took his own life trying to prove the cure worked, and Dwayne adopted the boy. So he's just going around adopting kids like Infinity Stones, who later became known as Microbe. Wanting to bring the Warriors back together, Dwayne partnered with a TV production company, turning their missions into a reality show. He reassembled the team, added Microbe, and sent them traveling across the country, hunting supervillains hiding in small towns. During one of the televised missions in Stamford, Connecticut, the New Warriors confronted Nitro, Coldheart, Speed Freak, and Cobalt Man. Night Thrasher fought Coldheart alongside Namorita and watched as she tried to stop Nitro from escaping. When she slammed Nitro into a school bus, he triggered his powers, causing a massive explosion that killed nearly everyone in the area, including all of the New Warriors except Speedball. After the Civil War, a new group calling themselves the New Warriors appeared, recruiting underground, depowered, and unregistered heroes who opposed the Superhuman Registration Act. At first, people believed Night Thrasher had somehow survived, but it was later revealed that this was actually his half-brother, Danielle, carrying on the legacy. After the team disbanded, Danielle joined another incarnation reminiscent of the original Warriors and continued opposing the initiative. When Norman Osborn took control of the nation's defense systems, the group helped Tigra and Gauntlet escape capture and became known as the Avengers Resistance. During this time, the Hood approached Danielle with an offer, a cloned body of Dwayne, and a way to restore his soul. Danielle struggled with the decision, which ultimately came to a head during the Resistance assault on Camp Hammer. In reality, Dwayne never died. The Collector pulled him out of time just moments before Nitro's explosion using ISO 8. Dwayne, then forced to take part in the Collector's contest of champions against the Grandmaster, fought over the ISO sphere in the alternate reality known as Battle Realm. Not long after, the Maestro and the Punisher plotted a rebellion against their master. After seizing the ISO sphere, the Maestro became the god of Battle Realm and imprisoned the fighters. When the Ultimates arrived and investigated the disappearances, the Maestro sent them home and deliberately sent Night Thrasher with them instead of White Fox, knowing Dwayne was a problem he didn't want around. Back on Earth, after Mayor Fisk and newly reformed Thunderbolts began hunting the Punisher through New York City, Night Thrasher hid Frank Castle and convinced him he could not survive alone. Castle eventually agreed, and Thrasher joined forces with Moon Knight, Black Widow, Sergeant Cole Alves, Ghost Rider, and the Punisher in a united strike against Baron Zemo. So that is Night Thrasher. He doesn't get talked about a lot. His story is dark, which I really like. And I'd really like to see them bring him back into the mix. I mean, he has nothing going on. Why not? So yeah, I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed Night Thrasher. And I hope that you will like and subscribe so you don't miss anything else I put out. With that being said, have a marvelous day.